Hi, Ben's Machine Shop. This is about my homemade milling machine. I've had a few emails from, I think it was Robert, Sid, John, on could I give him a few more details on where I got the materials, etc. for to build my little milling machine. So this is it. I have done a few tips on my homemade milling machine, but I've had a few emails if I could go into more detail from John and from Robert. I think there's another one from Sid. If I could go in for they are planning and building their own. Well, the best detail I can go into, for to start with, would give me the idea of building it, and then go on to the ingredients on it, the materials, where I got them. So, I first got the idea by this hand drill give me an idea of building a little milling machine, and that's what started it. I started fooling about with some drawings, sketches, before I drew up my set of plans for it. So here is the start to give me the ideas. Now, these were just sketches I had made. This is tracing paper, you're not getting the I didn't go into the proper sizes, or I didn't have the materials at the time, but I just had to go then with whatever materials I could get hold of at that time. That's what I ended up with, which I'm very pleased with the work I've done on it. Now, the work I've done, this base plate, this was a remnants of a large bit of plate at work. This was what you would call a cutting off it, and it lay for a while and I got it. Now, one of the mates at that time started dealing in a bit of scrap, and he had this really huge lathe. It was about 9-10 foot long, and it was Wilson, I think, was the name, and the date on it was 1905, Glasgow. And I got the cross light off of it. There was a large piece come up here, it was on it, that held a really huge four-way tool post. So I discarded that and had to cut this bit off. And I had that for quite a while. I went round scrapyards for 2-3 months, and look, I came in with this cross light off another old lathe in a scrapyard, which gave me this table. For steel, I fell in with a bit, I think it was about 14 inches long or something, or whatever, and 2 inches, but a mate had a large milling machine. I think it was a Cincinnati, and he let me use it one weekend, and I made this table. And that got me started building this, and then this. And for a column, I still have quite a few bits of 5-inch shafting. That was this 5-inch, this, and this all came off the one shaft. And a 2.5-inch shafting, and I made the screw, and this was more scrap and work. It's 3.5, I think that's 3.5 by 2. And I made this for the tail, for the rise and fall. This was a bit of heavy duty box section that I used to start for a couple of years until there was a bit of vibration, so I decided to change it. This is 4-inch shafting, which I made, and I had to bore it out, and I made this column, or whatever you would call it at the moment. It's done at Morse 3. The bearings, this is a plain bearing here, thrust bearing. Now I have a cover over the bearing with a grease nipple, keep it greased. I also grease nipples, keep all parts greased. And 4-speed. I think this is a 3/4 horse, single phase. Now this was the hand wheel on the large tailstock on this huge lathe that I mentioned. It has served me well, this little milling machine. I've done a lot of work. I have tips using it, making parts on it. Not too noisy. nice movements. This one is kept locked when I'm not using it. That is for this to keep it locked. This one is for this table. This movement. And I have a tape maker on this vise when I made it. I'm really pleased with this little milling machine, and I fell in with this stand. One of my sons had it with a saw on it, and he gave it to me. He didn't need it, which came in very, very handy. Gave me a lot more room. The drawers, a nice fit. I have a tip cleaning these drawers up, putting them in, filling them. And I hope this explains a lot more. Robert said, I say there's a thrust bearing here and a plain bearing for to give me the proper movements. To go into detail on this is in 3 stages, which I changed over from the heavy duty box section. This bit was bolted into this block, which meant 2 holes was countersunk here, and this threaded to carry the intermediate bit, which one here and one on the other side was drilled and threaded to carry these bolts. Now this is milled flat. I think it was 150 thou, something like that, for to give me a flat base, which was onto the box section at that time, but it also done well. And these is all trued up, and this has done the job very, very well. Very pleased with it. Now these are the collets which I use. I have a series of these collets for to carry all different. This one is a 3/8. It can also take the long series one. I use the thread. A lot of my end mills is threaded, but that doesn't matter. This is threaded. Now this is the bolt for to draw up the collet. I had to make all this. I had to, on this armature and here I had to do a Morse 3 taper. It carries the collets. These are all Morse 3. Which was very satisfactory. Morse 3. Now John and Robert said If I can help with any more questions, I would be pleased to do so. I used to have a swinging arm here to carry the motor, but there was vibration in it, so I changed over to the plate, 4 bolts, adjustment on the screws. I have 2 screws for tightening the rise and fall block. Now, for to weld this, I had to make sure everything was trued up before I welded it, all trued up. And as I say, I am very pleased with the work that it does. Very pleased. Maybe I'm being prejudiced, but as a little milling machine, I'm pleased with it. 4-speed. I seen a 2-speed motor which I was contemplating, which would have given me 8 speeds, but I will have to think about it. That is my milling machine. The screw went on it over 100 years of age. I suppose that wasn't bad, but it was brass. I have 1 or 2 tapes on my website making the screw, but this screw went. Now this is it. That's the plans I drew up for it, which I made. I have, as I say, 1 or 2 tapes on my website making it. I had to make it out of steel. I didn't have the right size of bit of brass. I could have used a bit of this, but it meant squaring it all up first. But the steel seems to work very well. Now you guys, I hope this has been of some help to you. If you need any more questions, any more details, just give me an email or whatever, or a comment. And anyone else that has been any benefit to them, that is thinking of building or making a milling machine of their own, I hope it has helped in some way. Go to my website. I have 3 or 4 other tapes on the milling machine, making parts for it. This is Benny Marner, Ben's Machine Shop. Go to my website to my other tips. Thank you for watching.